So you're logging into Socratum. Your tablets are glued to your desk. Your book bags are under your desk. All right, let's start our GDTV. We're going to start, it's going to be teacher paced. We're going to do vocabulary. We're going to do vocabulary, teacher pay. We have 14 people in. 10 more seconds. 5. Your tablets are glued to your desk. Thank you so much. All right. Question number 1. Question number 1. Advin's parents were refugees from Bosnia. That means his parents were what? Looks like almost everyone has answered. Everyone has answered. 20 of you chose left their country for safety. Why is left their country for safety the correct answer? Who have not heard from today? Sabrina. Forced to seek protection or shelter, refuge. Good job, Sabrina. Next question. Which of the following can be pastured? Brian, your tablets are glued to your desk. All right, looks like everyone has answered. 22 of you chose goats. Why are goats the correct answer? Haley Culpepper, I haven't heard from you today. Why are goats the correct answer? Why can goats be pastured? Okay, so the animals are going out and they're grazing in the pasture, so they're being pastured. Next question, yeah. Which of these places is probably the least fertile? The least fertile. Which of these is probably the least fertile? Looks like everybody has answered. 24 of you chose a desert. Why is a desert the least fertile? Giovanni?
Because a desert is a dry area.
A desert is a very dry area and nothing can what?
Like nothing can.
You want some help? Take your teammate to help you.
Caleb.
Nothing can grow there. Next question. The old emperor was afflicted with. What was the emperor afflicted with? All right, 24 of you chose daughters. How was the emperor afflicted with 2 selfish daughters? Asantiwa.
Miss Carrington to the family. I think because it brings in pain that daughters are selfish.
It brings in pain that his daughters were selfish. Okay? You want to check out your scores?
Please.
Thank you, Jason, for saying yes, please. Thank you, Jason. So you can see we have a lot of green. The green means
Everything.
that we are good, right? The yellow means, the pink means we have to worry. So we can see that a lot of people had a lot of good scores, and our vocabulary test is coming up. So I can see that people have really been studying with these words. How long should you study tonight for your vocabulary test? Sasha? You should study about 30 minutes for your vocabulary test. All right? So now we're going to take our tablets and put them in their beds. Take our tablets and put them in their beds. All right. So we're going to start the second part of our lesson. We've been focusing on what for the past week and a half. What has been our aim? Carlton.
We've been focused on historical fiction.
Okay, give me more.
Like we have been reading stories and find out the facts and the fantasies and the stories.
Okay, so Carlton said we've been reading historical fiction. We've been figuring out what is a fact and what is a fantasy. Okay, what part is fact and what part is fantasy? Today we are going to do the same thing. We're going to act. Part of like the improv we've been doing in Miss Perkins' class. I'm going to choose a group. I'm going to choose a group of 4 people. And those 4 people are going to pick a story. And once you pick your story, you're going to have to read it. And you are going to come up with, you're going to try to stick to the story as much as possible, but you're going to come up with a quick skit. You're not going to memorize it word by word. You're not going to read the paper and pass it along person by person. You don't need to do that. Tell me what the story is about. Act out what the story is about. You don't have to read the paper. You want to entertain it. Okay? That is going to be your job as actors. Who would like to be my actors? My actors. Kai, I would like you to act. Akili, I would like you to act. Carlton, I would like for you to act. Devin, I would like for you to act. Akili, can you pick a paper, please? All right, which one? All right. So you have 3 minutes, guys, to create something for us. Remember, you're not reading off of the paper. While their 3 minutes is going, let's talk about what good audience members look like. What do good audience members look like? Jason.
Miss Carrington, they track and be silent.
They track the speaker and they're silent. Nebu.
They don't play around.
Okay, what do you mean by not playing around?
They don't talk to their neighbors. Also, not play with things that are on their desk.
Okay, they don't talk to people around them. They don't play with things on their desk. Brian Trent.
So you need to sit up and slant, respect, don't talk.
Okay.
Put your fullest attention to them.
Okay, you give them your undivided attention. You slant. You don't talk. Elijah.
Miss Carrington, you don't like ignore what they're saying and like doze off or something.
Okay, so you show them that you're attentive to them, because it's not easy to get in front of your teammates and to act with something you've only been looking at for 3 minutes. Anybody else want to add? Stop. You don't laugh, because they may be very serious. You always want to give them encouragement. Haley. I heard nothing you said, Haley.
You always have to pay attention to them.
Okay? You always have to pay attention to them. As audience members, we also have a job. They're going to present this story, which has some historical facts in it. This story also has some fantasy facts in it. Okay? Some fictional facts in it. What I want you to do is, as they're acting out their scene, you have to come up with 2 things that are historical facts and 2 things that are fiction. 2 historical facts, 2 fiction things, and we'll come together at the end once they're finished, and we'll see what things we've come up with. All right? All right, guys, you ready? You ready?
Yes, Miss Carrington.
All right. You have 3 minutes. Begin.
What you doing, Mom?
These are papers and posters for women's rights so women can have the right to vote.
Okay.
What is your mom doing?
She's fighting for women's rights.
Oh, that's interesting. Her friend's been doing that for a while.
I think I'll go join.
Women's rights! Women's rights! Women's rights! Women's rights!
And scene. Let's give them a, what do we want to give them?
Who's clap?
All right, let's give them a whoosh clap. K-I-P-P. Woo! All right, you guys have a seat. Thank you. Let's talk about the things that were, I'll wait. Let's talk about that things that were historical facts and things that were fiction. What is something that was a historical fact? Something that was a historical fact. Jason.
Miss Carrington, women fighting for their rights.
Okay? Women were fighting for their rights. Specifically their right to what? We heard Kai say specifically their right to
Like being respect.
not respect. That's not what Kai said. Devin?
Votes.
Their right to vote. So women were fighting for their rights. What else do we know that was a historical fact? Nephew.
We also know that women did not have a lot of rights.
Okay?
They put up posters and stuff.
So Brian, raised hand.
Oh, yeah.
They did. They protested with posters and signs and things like that. So those are 2 things that are historical facts. What is something in here that was was fiction? What's something that was fiction? Side. The characters were fiction because we don't know that they were real. London. The dialogue, because if the characters aren't real, then we know for a fact that they're not, the dialogue isn't going to be real. All right, who wants to now be the second group to go?